Good morning, Vamoose. Hey, we actually have 2 days in a row. We got the morning show. Now, I'm probably going to continue to do what I've always done and do 3 days a week, do 3 shows a week, and maybe more. We'll see how it goes. But at this point, we're on 3 days. So I want to jump into this. So I took this big hiking trip. I mentioned to you, last show. Went up in the Adirondacks. I did what was called the Northville Placid Trail. All right, so it's about 132, 33 miles, something like that. Basically cuts from the little town of Northville, which is on the southern end of the Adirondacks. We went from the south to the north. So we started in Northville, and it kind of goes northwest for a little ways, and then it kind of cuts northeast up to Lake Placid. So it cuts right through the heart of the Adirondacks. Cuts through a couple big wilderness areas, and man, you're like in the middle of nowhere. But man, the scenery and the beauty and everything was amazing. But in order to enjoy that wonderful time that we had, it was glorious, went with a good friend of mine. In order to enjoy that time, there was a few things we had to do. And obviously there was things like preparation, a little bit of training, obviously. The planning, obviously, trying to figure out, food to take, all this good stuff, right? So when we get there, though, what I want to do is I want to give you a couple little life lessons I learned during this trip, because there was a lot of things that I learned. Trust me, don't pack too much food, because, that was like the big problem that a lot of backpackers have, is that they go ahead and pack too much food, and I did it as well. Pack stuff that I didn't even like to eat 2 days in. I was like, oh, this is so awful. Which is crazy, because you got it now, what are you going to do about it? But it was fine. A lot of things I'm going to pack differently next time. But one of the life lessons that I learned, I'm out there on the trail, and you're going to enjoy all these things, right? You're going to enjoy seeing all this stuff. But you got to finish the trip at some point, right? You can't just go out there and be like, 2 months later, finish up my 132 miles. It should never take you 2 months to do that, unless you're just, fooling around every single day. But we were kind of thinking, we'll get it, 8, 9 days. It actually took 11 days. So we had to adjust a little bit. Right, because you get on the trail and you realize, all right, my pack weighs this much, my body's reacting in this way. We had rain the first 3 days, so everything got soaked. So there's that, and you get blisters, you have issues. So there is an adjustment that has to be made. But when you're out there, you have to set a good pace. And it's not just the pace of walking. This is the key. It's not just the pace of walking. It's the pace that you do everything else. Because walking is kind of like, you can only go so fast. And you can only go so fast in certain sections where there's a lot of rocks and it's really slippery. There's only going to be so much you can do every day, so you're going to have to find other ways to kind of regulate your speed. So when you stop for lunch, it's amazing. We always felt this way. You could, oh my word, you could hike what seemed like an eternity, and you look down, you only go in 10 minutes. So annoying. As soon as you stopped, 10 minutes went by oh man, snap a finger, man. It just boom. And you're like, I've been sitting here for 30 minutes. It was so ridiculous. But, so you had to really start to, regulate everything. And what's interesting in life, if you're going in a certain direction, maybe have some life goals, some things, maybe a job, a career, a certain hobby or a talent you're trying to develop. There is a lot of things that are going to have to adjust, not just that thing alone. Right? So in order to even have the schedule, in order to even have the time to do what you're planning on doing, you're going to have to change a lot of things surrounding that issue. And that's what I found that we had to do, is just make so many adjustments, get up much earlier. It's amazing how long it takes to pack a backpack of just a few things, everything that goes in there that you've been, using overnight, just dumb stuff. But all of that stuff, how fast you eat and all these things, all that stuff regulates how quickly you're going to get down the trail, because everything plays in. Everything plays in your life. It's all interconnected. You can't just say, well, this is, my professional life and this is my private life. Unfortunately, as politicians find out, as, people in religious faiths find out that your private life cannot be separated, that it's all one big ball of wax. What you do privately will affect you publicly. And so you have to make sure every part of your life is together and is working in one kind of like in synchronization. So in one big master plan, that it's all going in the same direction, and it's all tempered, and it's all controlled, and it's all set to make this part of your life go. And that's where you got to set up priorities. What can you be your priority? And some stuff might have to go. So anyway, there's your little takeaway. I want you guys to have a great day. So, good morning, Vamoose, and do what you do to get yourself going and motivated. And now Vamoose. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.